Welcome to my channel. I'm Car Things, and if you're coming back, nice to have you back. Today we're going to be doing a very fun one, and honestly it's going to be one of my favorites. We're going to be doing wheel swaps on cars. This is how I actually got started, and I'm very excited to do this small little tutorial for you guys. We are going to start out with some supplies first that you may need to do a wheel swap depending on the cars that you have. So obviously we're going to need wheels to swap out. We have pliers that we'll need, and I'll kind of show you what we're going to do with these. I have another pair of pliers that we're going to also use. I have super glue. Then we have our sticky putty. This is going to be used to close up our cars. We have our drill. This is going to be to open up the cars. And then I have some tubing over here that we will potentially make some custom axles for the cars that may have a little bit like longer width or something custom that you would want to do for the car, like fitment and stuff. So let's go ahead and get started on our video. So when doing a wheel swap, one thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go ahead and open up the car. By doing this, you're going to need to drill here and here, and this will make you be able to open up the car. For this, obviously, you're going to need a drill and a 4mm drill bit in order to drill into the car and unlock the car. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and drill them open and then open up the car, so then we can get started with the next part. So what I like to do is obviously I'll hold it pretty straight into the rivet and then apply slightly a little pressure and go slow at it. I don't want to go too fast because if for some reason I slip or something like that, I don't want to get hurt. So I drill enough in order to just remove the top little part over here, and with a 4mm drill bit, what is good about it is it will just take off that little top part of the rivet that's on the top up there. So once you have that done, you'll go ahead and just flip the car over to the other side, and we're gonna go ahead and drill the other one. Sometimes you may have to drill for a little bit because it does not unlock, so sometimes I'll just move the drill a little bit around in order for it to completely take off that rivet. And there we go. That little pop. I love to hear that little pop because I know that I was able to go ahead and open up the car fully. So we're gonna go ahead and unlock the car, take out all the parts, and this you can just go ahead and put off to the side because you're not gonna need to use this. We're gonna go ahead and use this part because this is where we're gonna be swapping out the wheels. For most of the cars, to swap the wheels is pretty simple. You just take off the wheels and you put new wheels in. It fits perfectly. You close up the car and you are pretty much done. Not all cars have that. This one, when we're gonna start out with, this one's gonna be the simple one. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove these little locks that are on the wheels with our little tool over here that we have. And I usually go for the middle one, not the two on the top, but I just take off the one that's the single one. And so I will go ahead and just snip it off. And then you should easily be able to remove the wheels. And so they'll just come off like that, and you flip it over, or whichever side that one single little lock is. You go ahead and just remove that lock and remove the wheels. And it's that simple. You just go ahead and remove the wheels, and now you're ready to just put on new wheels and then close up the car, and you're pretty much done with swapping up the wheels. I have a huge selection here of wheels that I have that we are gonna go ahead and pick for our Civic here, for this gold Civic. So I can go ahead and pick gold wheels because it's a gold car, but that's gonna be too much of gold, I would say, in my opinion. So I think the best thing for this car would be either black or silver. That's just my preference. I think it will make it stand out a little bit more. Some of my favorite wheels out of all the wheels that I have here would be these T37s. I absolutely love using these specific wheels on most of the cars. I think the JDM cars, these wheels look very good. And so this has become some of my favorite ones to put on any of my customs that I have. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this to the base now, and then I'll show you how to close up the car with the sticky putty that we have. Here, it's pretty simple. You're just gonna go ahead and snap the wheels into place here, and the same way on the other side, like that. And that's pretty much it for this part. We're gonna grab our sticky putty, and we're just gonna make 2 little balls. They don't have to be too big. They're just so they can sit on top of the little rivets where we drilled out. That's where we're gonna go ahead and apply them to. I don't really like drilling in and making screws and doing all that and tapping them. I think that's a lot of work to do. I mean, you can go ahead and do that. I have done that before in the past, but I just find that sticky putty works the best because I can easily apply it. It will hold the car very nicely. And if I ever want to swap the wheels out again, or look at the interior, or just make any adjustments on my customs later on, for whatever case, it's very easy to open up the car with the sticky putty and then just reapply it as very simple. You can also use super glue to do that. Once you close up the car, you can dab a little bit of super glue on top of the rivets where you drilled, and then that would also close up the car, but it's gonna close up the car forever. And then if you wanted to open it up again, you're gonna have to do a lot more drilling and then trying to yank it out. And I think that's just a lot of work to do. So sticky putty, in my opinion, works the best, and I just like using it. So we're gonna go ahead and just put some right here and some right here. And it seems like I've kind of used a little bit more than I should have, but I think it's gonna be okay. Once this is done, we're gonna go ahead and then just flip over our base into the car, and I'll just kind of lock one side first, so then I know that it's set, and then the other side should click into place. And then I'll just press down the putty on both ends over here. This is what it looks like, and there you go. And pretty much you have wheel swapped your first car. And I think it looks really good. Honestly, these wheels, I mean, like, look at these things. These things are hideous. I don't like these at all. Obviously, plastic wheels kind of suck in my opinion. But getting like real riders or any wheels that have like actual like rubber tires on them really sets the car off and makes the car look like amazing. And honestly, this is how I started out doing all my customs. I started doing wheel swaps first, and then I moved into like painting and all that other stuff. But wheel swaps is what really got me into this hobby. Once I started swapping out wheels, it just unlocked a whole new, I guess, I don't know really what to say. It just made it fun for me, I guess. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I think it was very fun, and then I wanted to do more cars, and it just carried on. Now, if by some chance you can't get wheels like this, which are basically like rubber wheels or stuff like that, there is a second option, and I'm gonna show you that second option that you have. This is my jar of all the cars that I have wheel swapped. Basically, just things that I took off from all other cars and put them in this jar. They're plastic wheels, but they do have some cool designs, and you could just go ahead and wheel swap from some other car into a car that you want to use. So I mean, there are obviously a lot of designs that Mattel makes, whether it's gold wheels or silver wheels or whatever the case is, and you can grab these wheels, take them off another car, and then apply it to your new car. So if you can see, it would still look pretty good with these wheels versus the ugly ones that came with this Civic. So that's another option that you have. So in case you don't have any actual nice wheels to swap it out with, you can get started by just swapping wheels from another car. I know that some people like to swap wheels from premiums because premiums come with like nice rubber wheels. So you can do that as well if you want to like customize your car or get some model that you like that doesn't have premium wheels. You can go ahead and take them off other cars in order to get the look that you're looking for. So that was pretty much how to swap, you know, basic wheels on your custom that you want to do. But we're gonna go ahead and move over to some cars that are not as easy to just swap out with just putting new wheels in, and they fit in perfectly with the fitment and everything like this. So here I have a Mercedes, and I love this model. Honestly, I think when this came out, this was one of the models that I really wanted to get because it just looks so good. I think Mattel did a wonderful job on this car. But I wanted to add in my own wheels, and I thought obviously just like the Civic, it would be very easy for me to open it up and then go ahead and apply new wheels. This one I already drilled into, so we're just basically just gonna open up the car. We have our base here, and the problem that I ran into is that the front wheels, they are just like every average Hot Wheels car that you'll get. They're easy to just swap out, but the back ones, they're a little bit longer. And so if you wanted to put in new wheels, which I'll go ahead and show you once we go ahead and open up these. Let's say for instance, we got our wheels here and we wanted to apply them into the back of this car. Because it is a little bit more wider back then, they will not fit in there, and they're going to be basically, they're not going to sit down flush, and there's not enough room. And so what you can do is you can go ahead and get the longer axle that you had from the car that you just took apart, grab your little pliers here and just take the end of it off right at the end. Don't want to cut off too much, but just the end of it off. Take off the old wheels, and here you go, you have your little axle that you're gonna go ahead and apply with your new wheels. Okay, here we go, we have these wheels. Love how these wheels look. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just gonna go ahead and clip this one as well, take our wheels out. Then we're just gonna go ahead and grab the axle that we had, the first axle that we had, the longer one. We're gonna put our wheels in, just like this. And then what I do to just make it very simple, I'll go ahead and apply a little bit of super glue at the tip over here. So we'll grab our super glue with Mr. Monkey. And we just apply a little bit here, like this. Then we slowly lift up the wheel, and then I kind of just turn it a little bit so the super glue kind of gets all the way around, and then I just wait for it to dry. Usually it'll dry pretty quickly, and then once it dries, you pretty much have your new wheel set. And that, put it in the back over here, because we have adjusted our axle. Push it in, and then there we go. It is basically done. Now you can see here that this wheel will spin, and then this one, it can spin as well, but it is basically attached to the axle. So as long as you don't super glue this part here, and you just close up the car, and these little plastic bits are just gonna go over the top of this, so you don't really have to super glue it. Once you close up the car like this, the wheels will still spin, so you don't have to really worry about that. We're just gonna go ahead and finish swapping the wheels on this one. Grab your sticky putty. And here we have it. And we close up, and again, lock one side in, turn it around, and the other side should go ahead and lock in pretty good. And look at that. Wheels spin, car moves, and it looks so much better than it was before with the other wheels that it had here. It really makes the car stand out, and I love how this looks. All right, so here's our third car. Our third car has smaller axles here. Again, I've already drilled into this car to open up the car. So we're gonna go ahead and open this. This we can go ahead and put it on the side. Again, you don't have to take everything out. I don't know why I'm taking everything out, but you could just leave it in there and then just put the car to the side. But here is our third car, and you can see how small the width of these axles and wheels are. If I go ahead and apply like a whole new set here, we're gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna unlock these puppies. So If I go ahead and oh my goodness. Okay, so if I go ahead and put these wheels here, right? And we're looking at the car here, and then I close up the car. Wow, it looks so amazing on this side, but what is happening on this side, okay? Like, what is this? Like, this is ridiculous. And so we have to adjust that in order for the car to look very nice. If I just go ahead, you know, and just tuck the wheel in, it's like, oh, it looks good on both sides, but then you have this thing sticking out, and what is that? You can't have that. We're gonna go ahead and fix that. So we're gonna go ahead and use these wheels for these, for this Chevy Nova. We have to figure out what's gonna be the right length for our axles, right? Most of the time I just go by just eyeballing it and seeing like, okay, how much do I have to actually cut off, and then how much I have to measure or things like that. So on this one, you can kind of see here, if we go scroll down, how much, pretty much I'll have to cut off. So normally I won't cut exactly the same amount. I'm gonna cut a little bit more, or I guess less, I guess I'm gonna cut, just because when you go ahead and glue the wheel, you need some of the space for the wheel to sit in order for it to be that perfect size. So we're just gonna go ahead here. We're gonna cut off a little bit off the top. Once we did our snippy, we're gonna get our gluey. And we're just gonna go ahead and apply some glue here. Don't apply too much, just apply just enough. Give it some time to dry. Once it dry, there you go. You have your new sizing done for your car, and you just pop it right in, and it now will fit in perfectly. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side as well, and then we'll pretty much be done with doing the custom axles for this car. And that's pretty much it right there. Again, you can always do a little bit much tighter fitment, looser fitment, but for this, it's basically identical to the ones that was on there previously. Once we have that done, we are gonna go ahead and close up the car. Honestly, my favorite part. I like closing up the cars. Even after I'm done with any of the customs, closing up the car just feels like I have finally completed the challenge that I have started. Boom. Bam. And boom. Did we get it? Okay, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, that snap was satisfying. That means we for sure got it. And there we go. And look how nice this looks. I love how this looks. Again, wheels spin, car rolls. That's what we like to see. Perfect. And the fitment is nice. The wheels don't move around. You don't have any additional axles sticking out or anything like that. So this is what the car looks like for the finished piece. And here are our 3 cars that we have. They look excellent. The last thing what you'll need for your custom axles, if you want to get to more of a pro level, basically creating your own special axles. You know how we cut off that little knob off the top of the axle? Well, with this, you can go ahead and cut it off. So we have a piece right here. If we get like our wheel here, and we apply it here, you can make custom axles for your cars. This tubing, here's the measurements for it. It's like 1.57 millimeters, 1/16 by, I think it's 14. I got this at Ace Hardware, so you could just look for this brand or just ask for any like little aluminum tubing that they have for that size. And then you can go ahead and make your own custom axles. You can just put in, like, cut off the original axles, and then you can slip them in here. So there's 2 ways that you can put it into here so the wheel holds. You can, again, apply a little bit of super glue here and then slip it in, or you can go ahead and bend the axle a little bit and then slip it in that way. and then it will lock into place. Then you'll have your wheel. And you can also make cambered wheels like this as well, or even on the original wheels that you have or ones that you get. If you grab your pliers, you can go ahead and bend a little bit on each side, and here, and then you have a little bit of a cambered look. So if you like that JDM style slammed cambered look, all you would have to do is just bend a little bit at the axles. You can do that with your premium wheels, you can do that with your plastic wheels, just to kind of like play around with it, apply them to your cars, and then you'll have a nice cambered look to them. And that's another way that you can go ahead and just adjust the fitment on the cars that you have. I would say the video has come to an end. I hope this was a little bit helpful for you to understand how you can go ahead and wheel swap what you need to do and what equipment you need to wheel swap. Don't feel any type of way that you don't have premium wheels to do this. Honestly, just grab a few different cars, find wheels that you like, drill into it, open it up, take the wheels out of that car, apply it to your new car, and then, you know, be as creative as you want. Realistically, you're the one who is designing this car, so your creativity will get you to wherever you want to go. For me, like I said, this is how I started doing my customs. I basically just started wheel swapping, and for me, I had so much fun just doing that. I was just like, well, what else can I do? And so then I started to painting the cars and stripping the paint, painting the interior, and doing all these other things. But this is how I started in the hobby. Basically, I started to just swap wheels on cars, and I inspire you to do the same thing. It is very fun, very easy. There's so many different styles of wheels out there that you can do, so many different cars. And it's one of the easiest things that honestly you can do for customizations. It really sets the cars off. It makes the cars look so amazing. So go ahead and do that. If you enjoyed this video, like always, drop a like, comment down below what you enjoyed and what you want to see more of, if it helped out, and how I can help you out more with your customs or questions that you have for me. I'll be more than happy to answer you guys. I have a lot of fun doing these videos, specifically for you guys, because you guys inspire me to, or motivate me, I guess, to do more and more videos like this. And I do these things specifically for you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for everything that you guys are doing, for all the support, and I'll catch you in the next one.